What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo. Today we're going to be doing a double dose of the DOA 6 collaboration characters. We're going to be talking about Paradise Marie and, whoops, not him, and Paradise Kasumi. Two really terrific characters that have quite a few things in common, so I thought I'd do these guys together in one video. One of the things they have in common is they're both defensive fighters. Another thing in common is they both have dot explosion on one of their skills. They are both Paradise editions of these characters, so they got quite a few things in common. So let's talk about them. We'll start off with Marie. Now, Marie is a blue defensive fighter. She does have an interesting leadership that does increase defensive fighters' attack by 30%, HP by 15, and they obtain 5% power upon defeating an enemy. Now, this can be very, very useful, especially in a game mode like Time Attack. If you put Nameless in there, who has really great PG gain thanks to his core, with this, it's going to be even better. Now, we have other characters that you can use for this, but it is something to note. So she could be really useful for that, at least her leadership as far as that's concerned. As far as her core effects, she does have strike skill damage increase, penetration, defense increase, which is really nice for a character like this. She has chill attack damage increase. She has 20% PG rate. So with a 20% PG rate leadership, she's going to have 40% PG rate, which is more than enough for this girl to do her 3 PG. She actually builds it up quite fast. She has attack increase. And then she has the attacker is frozen for 3 seconds after 5 seconds when attack. And this is on an 18-second cooldown. Now, the cool thing that you're going to notice about this character is she has chill and she actually has freeze. Two things that are very applicable to the Immortal Typhon. Now, Immortal Typhon, purple actually have the advantage, but blue don't have a disadvantage. You can still use blue. So she could actually be a terrific character for that just because she has chill damage and she actually has freeze. That's actually very, very good. And then she has the PvP exclusive 50% chance to disable special moves for 10 seconds, cooldown of 15 seconds. So wow, so she has a 50% chance of disabling their supers. That's pretty powerful. And then increase defenses by 10% for 5 seconds upon landing an attack that stacks with 5. That means she's going to get an increase in defense by 50% when it stacks all the way up, which is going to be massive for this character, especially as far as her damage. And then she gains 20% power when combo count is 10 or higher. Very, very powerful. And then, of course, the Dead or Alive skill or core effect with the 30% decreased damage received and the extra attack. Very, very nice. And then she has Hyper Armor, which is nice. It's really awesome to see Hyper Armor on a character, collaboration character that's non-SS. And then we have an interrupt skill on top of that. And this is an interrupt skill that you use while you're standing. So you got to be on your feet while you're using this. And then her second skill, increased attack by 45% of defense, which is really nice. So, being a defensive character, being that she has an increased attack based on defense, running the KS set, the Athena set are going to be the Kingdom Comes. The Mr. Big set's going to be really good. And then she applies chill damage, which is really, really nice. And then on her third skill, she actually deals dot explosion. And this is pretty massive for this character. This is really, really nice to have dot explosion. So I mentioned earlier how she could be really good for the Immortal Typhon because of the chill and the freeze, but because of the dot explosion, she could actually be amazing for Immortal Nyx, right? She's got the Hyper Armor, she's got the decreased damage received from her core effect, so she's going to have a little extra survivability. She doesn't have any other decreased damage received, but still 30% decreased damage received, the fact that she builds up her PG pretty quick, and the fact that she has Hyper Armor on a 10.4 second cooldown, and with cooldown cards, it's going to be dropped down to around 6 seconds. She's going to have quite a bit of survivability. It's actually going to really be awesome to have this character for Immortal Nyx. And you could use her for Immortal Most, but Immortal Most, she's going to have a disadvantage against that boss. However, the thing to keep in mind is whenever you're fighting against Immortal Most and you do dot explosion against that guy, he actually is stunned. So he's not attacking. So she might have a disadvantage against that boss, but you can still put her on the team, still get that guaranteed dot explosion. I mean, this is guaranteed. Every time you use this skill, you're going to get that dot explosion and you're going to stun Immortal Most, or, well, you're not going to stun Immortal Nyx, but you're going to apply dot explosion. So very, very useful character. I really love that they did this and they put this dot explosion on a skill, and then she has a 7% chance to reset the cooldowns upon a successful attack, which is nice. And as far as her build, I mean, I do have one imprint stone. I did end up putting an attack stone on her. I know that I recommended for her and Kasumi to put defensive stones, and I still stand by that, but I was kind of in a hurry. I just picked attack stones really quickly, and I just kind of leveled them up without thinking. But to be honest, there's not going to be a massive difference between them, because the thing about the DOA 6 characters is even though they're defensive characters, and even though both of these characters are going to get an increase of attack based off defense, they both also have the core effect where they actually do increase their attack, right? And so if you use attack stones, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. I do think defensive stones would be a little bit better. It would make them a little bit tankier, but it's fine. I think it'll be all right. And then we go up to affinity level 10 here. No capsules on the character, and she's just level 10. And then we got to take a look at Kasumi, who is a green defensive fighter, and her leadership is insane. Increased DOA 6 fighter attack by 60%, decreased HP by 10%. So, we all know that SS Honaka is absolutely insane in guild raid. And with this leadership, I mean, there are other leaderships that you can use. But if you have Paradise Kasumi, you can actually use her in the leadership, buff up Honaka, something fierce, or bump up any other character that you're using to get it done. 60% increased attack is freaking massive. And then the core effects, strike skill damage increase, you got poison attack damage increase, she got 20% PG rate, which is nice. And then she has a really interesting core effect. Decreased damage received by 85% for 4 seconds when attacked on a 15-second cooldown. Lots of extra tankiness on top of the 30% decreased damage received that she has from her core effect. And then she gains damage immunity for 3 seconds upon using an active grab skill. And this is only on a 10-second cooldown. So she's going to have immunity about every 10 seconds, which is nice, on top of the extra decreased damage received. And the thing to note about this is it isn't based on how much HP you have. This is always going to be applicable as long as the cooldowns are ready to go. That's pretty nice. And then she has an increased attack by 35% when HP is 80% or more. So the thing about this is, she's got that nice increased attack by 35% when HP is 80% or more. So once she gets below 80%, she's going to lose that extra attack by 35%, which is kind of a bummer, but it's still a really nice, powerful tool to have. And then she gains 10% power when combo count is 10 or above. And then, of course, the DOA 6 passive or core effect. And then she has super armor. Now, she doesn't have hyper armor, but because she's going to get immunity every time she uses the grab skill every 10 seconds, it's still going to be really good. She's still going to have a lot of great survivability, and she does deal venom damage on her first skill, and she does actually also decrease PG rate, which is really good for PvP. And then her second skill, increased attack by 45% defense when using a skill, and freezes the enemy. So you could use this character against Immortal Typhon as well, because she actually does have freeze. That's actually pretty amazing. I mean, she doesn't have chill damage, but she has freeze, which is really nice. It's really going to help you a lot. And this is a guaranteed freeze. And then on her third skill, she has 100% chance to reset the cooldown upon landing. So she has 100% chance to reset her dot explosion. I mean, both of these characters, Marie and Kasumi, have dot explosion on the third skill on no cooldown, except for the cooldown on the skill itself. Right? So you can use this character, again, just like Marie, you could use it for Immortal Nyx, you could use it for Immortal Most, and she won't have a type disadvantage or advantage against Most. But again, because of the dot explosion, she's going to be stunning Most, and you're going to be able to do a lot of damage. Like, say, against Immortal Most, your yellow characters are the ones that have the advantage. I mean, characters like Orochi Iori, who doesn't get used a lot but has a lot of power, because you have a character like, say, Kasumi or Marie, and you're doing dot explosion to Immortal Most, it enables your weaker characters, like weaker survivability, to stay alive and do insane damage, right? And for a newer player, these kinds of characters are actually really awesome. I actually regret on my free-to-play account not pulling on the Volume 2 banner. I actually pulled on the Volume 1 banner, and I kind of wish I'd have pulled on the Volume 2 because it really had been nice to have these characters because you can always level them up. They're DOA, they're collaboration characters, right? You can always level them up through the game. It's not like all the RNG whenever you're trying to get other characters. So it makes these characters very, very viable and very, very useful. Now, I don't think they're going to be really great in guild raid or nothing like that. I mean, definitely they're going to shine in PvP, and they're going to shine in the Immortal Dungeons. And speaking of the Immortal Dungeons, I did a video yesterday in here. We were using Neo Tingle, we were using the Paradise Honaka, and we were using SS Marie, right? And they were able to get 500 million. Now, my Honaka was leveled up. She did have two imprint stones on her, and she was at level 30, whereas these three characters, we're just going to use Neo Tingle again for that leadership, right? That leadership is so good. And then we're just going to use the Paradise versions of Marie and Kasumi in here. Now, as far as the builds, The cool thing is, every one of these characters, because they're defensive characters, I just have KS sets on them. We got 1 imprint stone on old girl. And all the imprint stones, again, are attack. We got a KS set on here. Baka, 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 baka. Oh, something I want to note real quick about Marie here. Marie's 3PG is also pretty freaking insane because even with the decreased damage received that she has from the core effect, the 30% decreased damage received, she still gets a heal every time she does her 3PG. So she's got quite a bit of survivability. That actually can make her really good for Immortal Nyx because he does a lot of damage. And the fact that she has this extra survivability tool would come in very, very handy. And then as far as Kasumi here, let's look at Kasumi's 3PG. Kasumi's 3PG is kind of the same thing. It doesn't have a heal, but it has a decreased damage received by 50%. So Kasumi's got a lot of decreased damage received. She got decreased damage received by 85%. She got the immunity in her core. She got the decreased damage received by 30% from the DOA 6 core effect. She got the decreased damage received from the 3PG. It just makes her an absolute tank, right? It makes her an insane tank, which is pretty awesome. Now let's see how good these girls can do. Now I don't think we're going to get 500 million. To do that with 3 level 10 characters would be pretty freaking nuts. But let's see how well they can actually do. Let's do it. And just like in yesterday's video, these girls build up their PG so fast, especially against Immortal Victor, because he's really an easy character to build up your PG against. I'm going to turn that auto crap off. There we go. Now I want to put it on semi-auto. Okay, I always love it when he does that pecker. Alright, I just want to build up that PG. There we go. Now we're just going to go ahead and hit our Awaken skill for Neo Tengo. Because again, Neo Tengo has that bleed. And we want to apply as much bleed as we can. Hopefully Marie will do her 3B. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Just like in yesterday's video, they're just nuts. There we go. I really want Neo Tengo to do her 3PG because I don't want these other girls doing their defaults. There we go. That worked out really great. We got Cosmic 3PG ready to go before we could switch to Marie. There's that dot explosion. Oh my gosh, she jumped right in there. I think there's a little bit of a bug going on here. That wasn't right. That shouldn't have happened. But it did, unfortunately. That's been happening quite a bit in the Immortal Dungeons lately, and that shouldn't happen. While one character's doing their 3PG, the others shouldn't be jumping right into theirs. It shouldn't happen. So that kind of hurt our run a little bit right there. Oh, look at this. It's just over and over and over. Oh boy, oh boy. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I'm just trying to keep those 3PGs going. And the cool thing about this is, you know, we're just applying an insane amount of dot damage, right? Oh, crap. Well, I'll just go ahead and switch back to her. We got a little bit of a... Whoa, 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 whoa. What is going on here? What is going on here? This is wacky. I never seen it do that. Wow, wow. We definitely got some bugs going on here. That was crazy. All that crazy text showing up. That was nuts. Oh, boy. Come on now. Come on now. Now, I did a run earlier where I actually got almost 500 million, but due to these bugs that's been happening here, I mean, what is going on? What is going on with this thing? What the hell am I looking at? It's just so wild. I swear I didn't do this earlier when I was playing. What is going on? This is so wild. Dude, get off me. Get off me. See, this has totally screwed up the whole run, everything that's going on here. Oh, perfect, perfect, perfect. And keep in mind, Marie and Kasumi don't have any capsules on them. Come on now, come on now. I'm really perplexed by what was happening earlier. It was getting pretty wild. Oh my god damn it. No, no, what is going on? What is going on? What is happening here? This is so crazy. What is happening? This thing is getting wacky as hell. I don't know, guys. I have no idea what's happening here. Major cluster, you know what, right? Come on, Marie. Do your skill. Do your skill. I mean, we hit 300 million even with all this wackiness going on. Which is surprising, right? It's pretty surprising, but it really does show how strong these girls are. I mean, you never know. Maybe that bug helped, but I don't think so. I did this earlier. I mean, we hit 350 million despite that screwed up bug. I hit almost 400 million when I tried this earlier with this team with 3 level 10 characters. That was crazy as hell, man. I don't even know what happened. I've never seen that before. Just, okay, whatever. But it's a testament to how strong these characters are, right? I know Immortal Victor isn't the most difficult dungeon. In fact, he's the easiest one of them all, right? I know I gotta stress that a little bit, but he's the only one we have available to really test these characters out against right now. And Kasumi actually has the advantage against this guy, so she's actually quite insane. I mean, if you have her and SS Marie on a team, yeah, I mean, it's going to be nuts. It's going to be insane damage. So I'm really, really impressed with both Kasumi and Marie. I think they're both terrific characters. I think they're going to help a lot of new players out there and really maybe help a lot of, maybe even veteran players as far as that's concerned, because, having that die explosion on, on a skill and having no cooldown on it except for the cooldown on the skill itself it really is powerful, on top of all the decreased damage received that Kasumi has. The fact that this girl here has hyper armor. They just got a lot in their kits. They're actually really terrific characters. So let me know how you're all feeling about Kasumi and Marie, and let me know how y'all feeling about that bugs. Have you seen those kind of bugs in there? And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GMT plus 7 time. The link will be in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See ya.